This is Intoxicated Literature.
Hello! Welcome to Intoxicated Literature. I am Daniella Drake.
And I'm Evelyn Crow.
And tonight, we're going to be talking about Odd Blood by Azalea Crowley. And it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. It's one of my favorite books. I'm sorry we are intoxicated and hence the laughter. It's a really good book, actually. It's one of my favorites. Sorry.
Listen, sometimes we have technology fails because we are trying to operate things when we are not at our best. So...
Oh, it's working, and that's all that matters.
That's right.
It does not matter how we got here.
That's right. We are here now. Okay. Before we get into it, spoilers ahead. We will ruin the entire book and maybe subsequent books. Sometimes we forget what's in
I have
book.
read all of them, and I am notorious for forgetting what is in what book. It just all blends together for me, especially once I've had a drink. So, yes.
Yeah. I'll try to keep you on the path, but I sometimes also get confused. So, just be aware.
Complete and utter spoiler warning.
Yes. We also swear like sailors.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't like profanity, probably shouldn't listen to us in general. And this isn't really a spicy book, but we might talk about
We might talk about sex, but this is, there's no adult content in this.
Yeah.
But we might refer to body parts or other subsequent things just in general. So
just be aware.
Be aware. It's an adult environment.
That's right. And what are we drinking tonight?
We are drinking a very cold cocktail.
A vampire's kiss.
Yes, it's very
which
cool.
is scrumptious.
It's
It's basically a fancy vodka cran, but I love a vodka cran. So
Who doesn't love a vodka cran?
Exactly. So,
and it looks really cool in the glass.
It looks so cool in the glass. So, here we are. Yeah, let's get into it.
I love this series, and I tell everyone I know about this series at every conceivable opportunity, and I'm sure they're very sick of me telling them to read Odd Blood. I tell them all the time. Daniella can agree.
Yes. I was very confused when you first brought this series to my attention because you said it was a cozy horror, and I was like, I don't know how those two work together.
My favorite was when it was Christmas, and I gave my sister, a different sister, a signed set of the Odd Blood series, and Daniella's boyfriend went, cozy horror.
Yeah, he was very confused.
And I went, I didn't even explain. I just looked at him and went, it's a real thing. Deal.
That is true. I mean, I feel like we both kind of did that because we had both read it at that time. So, yeah.
I just expected him to accept the fact that it was a real genre, and that was it. So,
I mean, to be fair, I think that cozy horror is the only horror I can read.
Oh, for sure. I cannot read horror. I would be up all night.
I am a baby.
Absolutely.
I am easily terrified.
Yes,
and I wake up at 3 a.m. every morning. So that's, I wake up and think about all the scary things that I read.
And obviously the monster's under my bed ready to get me.
Or in the closet, just ready to pounce. Like, obviously.
Nope.
So,
no horror for me.
Not a horror person. But loved this book.
This was so good.
It was so good.
I love it so much. I love it. It's like, it's a compilation of The Things We Do in the Shadows and Golden Girls.
Yes. Yes.
Take
if What We Do in the Shadows was a rom-com, it would be this.
Yes.
Like, it's so true.
It's perfect.
And I love What We Do in the Shadows. It's one of my favorite shows. So, yes.
And,
love it.
Like, there are times where someone will say something and I will literally just burst out laughing. It's so funny.
Absolutely agree. The relationship between Adewolf and Misha and Norma is adorable.
Yes.
Like, it really does give, like, found family feelings. Like, it feels like a family interaction. They're squabbling with each other, they're needling each other. Like, their banter is so funny. Like, I just love everything about their interactions.
Absolutely. For sure.
So cute.
Although I do love every time Adolf was like, "Are you sure you're not in Feebles?" Josephine is like, "I'm not in Feebles!"
Stop it! Oh, so cute. But every time he calls her baby bad, it's so sweet.
That little pet name.
I love it.
So cute.
So cute.
Adorable.
I know. So cute. But I love Josephine.
Yes.
She is adorable.
Yes. Absolutely.
Which I identify with 100%.
100%.
She's slightly awkward.
Mm-hmm.
She's ace.
Mm-hmm.
She is kind of stuck. Like, she's in her 30s, but I feel like everyone else around her is kind of like growing up and moving to the next phase, and she's not. She's just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like that's a little bit relatable too. Like, there's this idea that you're going to have it all figured out by the time you're in your 30s, and that is not always the case.
Right? Yeah.
So...
She's like working in this cake shop, decorating cakes, and she's like, "This is it. This is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life."
The rest of my life, exactly. And she doesn't love it. That's not what she really, like, she doesn't really feel like she fits anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then she meets Adewolf, who's drugged. And immediately lets slip that he's a vampire, but she doesn't believe him.
She's like, "Well,
it's Halloween.
It's Halloween. I will just go with this. Sure."
And it's Seattle, so she's like, whatever. Like, sure, whatever.
So she takes this guy back to his house, which is in the middle of fucking nowhere.
It's the middle of a park, and it's this giant castle.
Yeah.
So funny.
It's hilarious. She's like,
so funny.
"Where are we?"
And then she gets to meet Anna, who I love. She's snarky and just, like, irreverent and perfect. I just love her so, so much.
The way she talks to her brother. Every time. Get out of here. What are you doing in here?
She's so funny.
I love her so much. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, there's this one moment though, like right after she meets Adolf, and she goes home after she's hired as his thrall, and she's trying to process everything. Right? She's in her room, and she's like, I feel like, what? Why do I feel like? Is there something outside my window? So she opens the blinds, and Adolf is outside her window, like floating there, and scares the fuck out of her.
Can we talk about the fact that when I read this, my first thought...
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
The movie?
Yes! 100%. Because that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. I only watched that movie 100 billion times.
Yes. Benny, why are you floating?
Why are you floating, Benny?
I don't think I should let you in. That's all that was going through my head.
Mine too. Oh my god, we're such nerds. Oh my god.
Oh man.
God rest my Perry. Oh, that was such a bad movie. It was so good.
It's so good. Oh my god. Yeah. That was such a good scene. It was so good.
And she like freaks out. And of course,
which is fair.
Yeah, because she lives on like the 4th floor. And
yeah.
She's, like, outside her window. And of course he's like, "Won't you let me in?" And like this like
so formal polite.
And she's like, "I guess I'll let you in." And then he like awkwardly, in the most awkwardly way possible, clambers in to her house.
Yeah.
And falls onto her bed and then says parkour.
I love Adolf so much. He's always referencing shows and movies from the 80s. Like, he's, like, so frozen in time. And he's, like, kind of awkward, too. So their interactions with each other are so awkward.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
But I love it.
Oh god, and then he has the audacity to be like, why are you like this? And she's like, you scared me to death just now.
This is not how normal people act.
And he's like, are you sure you're not in people?
Stop saying that.
I'm not in people. Oh my god.
Oh,
That
man.
whole thing was hilarious.
Oh, so good.
Oh my god. I'm crying.
I love it,
crying.
too.
I'm laughing so hard.
The scene, too, where she invites him to dinner with her and her best friend.
Oh my god.
And he eats the food and then just, like, violently vomits it up. And, like, he's just like, I just need to get home. I just need to get home. And then he's like, doesn't make it. And she goes, why didn't you just throw up at my place? And he's like, you want to explain this to your roommate? Like, what? And she's going, okay, that's a fair point. Yeah. Like, there were so many scenes in this book that literally made me laugh out loud.
Oh
like,
my
I
God.
would just, like, start
I
laughing.
haven't laughed out loud so much at a book
I know.
like this one. Like,
Yes.
ever. Like, ever. This book was hilarious.
It was so funny. Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
So good.
But at the same time, Azalea builds this world of mythology and vampires that is incredibly real.
Yes.
Real feeling. Like, this could actually exist alongside ours.
Absolutely.
She put so much thought into what would a mythological world look like in our
Modern
world
times.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, this is what it would look like.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They have I have a Facebook app
Yep.
to keep track of everybody. Because, of course they would.
And they have their little meetups. And
They do.
It's like, yeah.
They do. All the thralls get together and they talk about being
Their
a
little
thrall.
support group. Yeah. Exactly.
They talk about
And
their
that's kind of-
vampires.
And that's kind of where she learns about, like, the different levels. Because Aidwolf is great, but he doesn't really communicate very well. So he doesn't explain a lot of this stuff to her.
He just kind of like assumes that everyone knows it already.
Knows it, yeah. He's forgotten that
Yes,
not everybody knows.
exactly.
Yeah, so she goes to, like, her first meeting, and she's got a vial of his blood, which makes her this really high rank of consort, which she's not really.
I know. He like broke so many rules. Everyone's like, "Why do you have that?"
I know. She's like, I don't know. What do you mean? He gave it to me.
What?
What does it mean?
So yeah. So it was like a whole thing.
Yeah,
It was, like,
exactly.
she spent so much time just trying to figure everything out. So,
Okay.
but yes, so the world building was great. They have
So
this
good.
whole hierarchy of different ranks up. So they have like the thrall, which is like the lowest one,
Yep.
and all that's required is like a bite.
Wait, is the thrall the lowest or familiar?
Familiar.
Familiar's the lowest, and then
Then
thrall.
thrall, and then drone,
Yeah.
and then consort.
Do you know what I have in my notes?
No.
It says familiar, thrall, droll with an L, because they have to be funny as well.
They have an official name.
Yes.
There's like a whole association. It's incredibly organized. It's like,
It's super organized.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
actually. So it's the FTDCA, the Familiar Thrall Drone Consort Association.
But they're so welcoming and supportive of each other.
Yes,
Like, it really is a community,
it is.
which
It
I
really
thought
is.
was really sweet.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. The characters were so great. I love that there were vampires, and I love that there's an elderly vampire who like has kind of like the vampire equivalent of dementia.
Yeah, Norma.
Norma's amazing.
She's amazing. I love her.
Because it's not quite dementia, but she's kind of,
No.
they call it brain haze.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not really following along necessarily to the conversation happening in front of her.
But then all of a sudden she'll be lucid and just be like,
Yeah.
well, no, this is not okay. And then she'll just handle whatever
Yes.
is in front of her.
Yes. I mean, she saves the day.
She is fucking amazing.
Out of nowhere, right? Like, so cool.
Everyone was literally, at the end, everyone was like, what is happening right now?
I know.
And then Norma's like, well, no, this can't happen. And then just saves everyone.
I know. Yeah.
Like the badass she is.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
So cool. Love it.
Oh, it's amazing. I love Norma so much. I would die for her. I would die for
I
Norma.
know. She was so good. I have to say, too, that, like, as a bad guy, Angelo, pretty good villain.
Yeah.
He's a little bit gross.
Yeah.
He preys on young women,
We don't like that.
which is, yeah, not a fan.
No.
So when he dies, you're kind of like, good riddance.
Yep.
Like, don't. And you don't even see it. Like, the best part about that is that you don't even see him die.
No, you don't.
It's like off screen, and like it's just like, oh yeah, he's already taken care of in the kitchen with a spoon. Which made me think of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh my god! There's so many like little different references in this book, and you're like,
Ugh, so good.
No, the real like baddie in this book, we have Angelo, but he's kind of like a baddie who's like an incompetent baddie.
Yes.
Who like thinks he's the baddie, but he's not.
But he's not. Yeah.
But the real baddie
Is Birdie
Birdie.
or Jennifer, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah.
We hates it.
Yeah, we do hates
hates
it. Yeah.
Because she's a hunter.
Yeah, vampire hunter, and she's infiltrated the, like, support system.
Yeah. Like she was in it.
Yeah.
And we hates it because she was in it. And she was offering sympathy and like being kind and like supportive.
Yep.
And all the while, it's actually evil.
Killing people. Not just vampires.
Not just vampires.
Like, that's
messed up.
it's so messed up. What are you doing?
Really
and even
messed up.
Josephine is like, you've lost the thread. Like, you've made yourself believe that it's okay to kill people.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay.
Yeah, Norma
Yeah, it was-
agreed. Norma
yeah.
was like, yeah, no, this is
Norma,
not okay.
Yeah, exactly. Can we talk about the werewolf cat, too?
When this book came out, there were so many of us who were all up in Azalea's like TikTok feed, and we're like, that cat is not a cat. What is
What
that
is up
cat?
with that cat? That cat has an agenda.
There's something going on with that cat, and she was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you know what is going on with that cat.
Yeah.
And she's just like, ooh. I know what's up with that cat now, and I'm vindicated.
I don't know, so don't tell me, because I
Okay.
do want to read the other books.
You haven't read them yet?
I haven't read them yet. I know, it's because I have them on hold at the library, and like
Daniella.
it takes a while, and I have to go through what books are available.
They're really good.
I know, I'm excited.
What's up with the werewolf cat?
I want to know what's up with the werewolf cat. I'm excited to find out.
I know what's up.
But yeah, I love the werewolf cat.
That is the best cat. And the thing about the werewolf cat is the vampire's reaction to the werewolf cat.
Yeah.
The cat itself is fabulous. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. But every vampire's reaction to the cat, even better.
Yes,
there's-
absolutely.
I always say Anna,
Oh, I say Anna, but
but
I'm
I don't
sure
know.
yeah,
But,
I don't know.
she's just like, what is that creature?
I know.
And why is
And
it in our house?
Aidwolf is like, you're kitty.
Aidwolf's like a big child, I swear. But like with power. It's so funny.
So good.
So cute.
Yes, absolutely. Love it.
Oh my god. Yeah, Anna would like kill that cat
Yes,
in a heartbeat.
for sure.
She'd just be like, that cat is no more.
Yeah,
It has ceased
for
to be.
sure. Absolutely.
But she's like, but at the same time, she's like, all right. Familiar likes the cat.
I guess the cat can stay for now.
Ever. Like, she's just like so gruff on the outside, but like has this underlying, I will be kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine.
I love her. I love her so much. That when she comes down at the end and she just yells, "My vagina!" And everyone's like, "What? What are we talking about?"
Oh my god, I love her so much.
And it was her embroidery. I was laughing so hard. Such a good scene.
I mean, there's just so many like random moments. Like they drink something and then all of a sudden there's blood splattered all over everything, and Josephine's just like, I have to clean this.
I know. What
did you
doing?
do?
I know.
Why? Why?
But why would you do that?
And the vampires are literally just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Is there a problem?
Do you like my hat?
I know.
What?
It's just like, sure, your hat's great. Thanks.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I will say that if I were in Josephine's situation and we're about to be homeless, and someone said, I'm a vampire, and you can live here for $126 a month to take care of my slightly, weird, older vampire, I would say yes to.
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't hesitate. Yeah, that would be an easy, when do I move in? Like,
I'd be like, okay, $126 a month? Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially in, Seattle, not cheap.
Not cheap.
Not cheap. $126 a month. Even she's like, I'm sorry, what, how much?
Like, at first, he's like, I have to charge you rent. She's like, oh, bullshit.
Yeah.
What is this? I'm working for you and you're charging me rent? He's like, I know, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of, like, human money, but it's $126. She's like, I take it.
That's a lot, but I think I can swing it.
I think I can do that.
Oh, so good.
But there's a lot of like world building, but it's not like, info dumpy.
Well, I liked it too, because I like the way that Azalea brought in like this idea that you're more powerful the closer you are to like one of the first vampires.
Yeah.
So like Aidwolf is more powerful than Anna because he's closer to one of the first vampires, because he's a 5th generation and she's an 8th generation. And his line is, of course, Dracula's line.
Yeah.
So, which he hates and doesn't want to talk about. Like, it's like off limits.
He's just like, ugh.
I know.
I can't stand, just don't even.
He's also like he's such a himbo.
He is the ultimate himbo.
So you think about Dracula and then like 5 generations removed is Aidwolf, and you're just like, okay.
I know. It's amazing.
It's so good.
And it's driving me crazy because I know things that you don't know.
Yeah, don't say them. We're only talking about this book. This is partly why I only read this book, because I know that you go off script. Because we don't have scripts and we're just talking.
I'm like, what script?
That's why we go off the rails so often.
I have no script. I really have notes.
I know, I was going to say, I have notes that have wrong words in it.
But the way she lays out all of the information in the world building and the mythos and everything, it's layered in through the story so well.
There's no exposition dump. No. There's no like big blocks of information that you have to parse through. Like, it's very seamlessly done. Yeah. And never feel like you're in a place where you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like
no.
it's very easy to follow. Like
Absolutely.
you understand what's going on. And if there are moments where you're like, wait, what? Josephine's right there with you.
Uh-huh.
Like she's also going, hold on.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything about this. Like
Absolutely.
back up.
It
Yeah.
absolutely is. It's very cool.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah, it was
Absolutely
really well
beautiful.
written.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's
And
so good.
I wish more people knew about it because I feel like it's still kind of flying under the radar, and it shouldn't be. Like it's so good. It's different.
cool.
It's unique. Like, yeah, it's such a sweet book.
Well, and I like the idea of a cozy horror because this is also an emerging genre. We have the cozy fantasy, and cozy horror is also an emerging genre. And so we should talk a little bit about what makes it a cozy horror.
Yeah,
as opposed
that's fair.
to just a regular horror. And I think,
Horror, yeah.
So horror, I guess. What are the elements that make a horror? So
well,
this
I
is
don't
something
really read those,
that
so
you don't read. So
yeah.
I would be like, okay, so a horror would have something like ghosts or paranormal, scary tension.
Yeah.
Make you things that go bump in the night, kind of thing. There may be gore, there may be blood, there may be things like that.
Darker
themes,
elements, yeah.
Maybe psychological.
Yep.
Things like that.
Yep. And
So
this book does have some violence.
Yes.
It does have some gore.
Yes.
But not a lot.
Not a lot.
And I would say that it's tempered with a lot of character development and I don't know, like humor.
You know, it's cozy because you know everyone's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And horror, you don't have that sense of stability.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think that's what makes it cozy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because that's what makes a cozy fantasy cozy. You
Sure.
know everyone is going to be okay.
Everything's going to work out. Everyone's going to be okay.
And it's a small scale.
Yeah.
Kind of feeling. Like when you read a horror, I've read a few. I don't particularly enjoy the genre, but I've read a few, and you feel it feels big even if it's in a small area. It feels overwhelming. That's what makes it scary. It feels like something you can't overcome.
Yeah.
The cozy, it's like, okay, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, they're gonna figure this out.
And it has that found family feeling. It has that we're in it together. We're here.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even if it does have a little bit of violence, a little bit of gore.
Right. Yeah.
It has that darker paranormal aspect. The vampires or the werewolves and the ghost kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would say, too, cozies in general, I would say cozy fantasy and cozy horror kind of share this, where characters tend to be kind. The default tends to be kind.
Yeah.
Where, like, even if there's a misunderstanding, they work it out. There's not, like, they're not as antagonistic toward each other as, like, you would read in, like, an urban fantasy or something of that nature, where, you know, people tend to be, like, a little bit more abrasive or whatever. So I think that that's true of this book as well. I mean, I will say I liked having a character with ace representation because you don't see that very often. She gets her first kiss in this book and she's in her 30s.
Yeah.
And like I thought that was really refreshing and lovely to see.
Yep.
Because there are so many people that are just ashamed of the fact that they've never gone on a date or they've never had a kiss or whatever, and they're not in their 20s anymore, and they think that there's something wrong with them, and that's just not the case. So it was lovely to see a character have that representation.
And there's a lot of
means.
Just not understanding what an ace designation means. I think there's a large part of the population that thinks that ace just means you never feel a sexual attraction to the opposite person, which may be.
For
true.
sure.
It's a huge umbrella. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge designation.
Yeah.
And it can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. So it's just it's really nice, and it is refreshing to see have a character that is ace and who's just taking it slow. Okay, so what are we reading next time? We are reading a book I've seen around. I have not read it yet, so I'm very excited. It's called
I have not read it either.
Return to Hoodoo by Reggie Dupree.
It sounds very intriguing.
It is a paranormal thriller, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So, very excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. We haven't read a thriller yet on here, so.
No, it's going to be different.
It's going to be different.
We're expanding our horizons.
We like to look outside the box sometimes.
That's right.
So.
Okay, so join us next time. This is Daniella Drake.
And I'm Evelyne Crow.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Intoxicated Literature. Drink well, friends.